Hello, everyone. Welcome to Durrett's Sake. It's that time of the week where I go over my NFL predictions for Week 11. So let's get started with Thursday night football game tonight between the Bengals and the Ravens, who are 3.5-point favorites. This is a very important divisional game, especially for the Bengals, who have not won a division game yet this season, and with the overall record that they have, they need to win. Sadly for the Bengals, their excellent receiver T. Higgins will be out once again due to a hamstring injury, and their star pass rusher Eric Hendrickson will also be out as well. Also, this good Ravens pass rush should suffocate the Bengals offensive line. So all the signs point to the Ravens should win this game. However, with Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow knowing what's at stake in this game, I think he and the team figure out a way to get an upset on the road and remain alive for the playoffs. I have Cincinnati winning 20-19. Okay, next you got the Steelers versus the Browns, your 1-point favorites. It was announced recently that Browns starting quarterback Deshaun Watson will have season-ending surgery. What is crazy to think about this is if the Browns defense can still carry them to the I think they can still carry them to the postseason, in all honesty. As long as Browns rookie quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who had his one start this year and didn't go so well, as long as he just doesn't screw things up, I think they can win this. I think they can win this game and be just fine to at least make the playoffs. The Steelers won the first matchup, so the Browns, I feel like, must win this one. I feel like, despite it being an ugly game, despite Watson not playing, they will come out on top. I have Cleveland winning 13-10. Next, we got the Cardinals versus the Texans, who are 4.5-point favorites. The Texans are coming off a big high after beating Cincinnati last week, and I think this is a classic track game. You had two clutch wins in back-to-back weeks, and I can see this young team just kind of not having it all there this week. And Arizona, with quarterback Kyler Murray back now, looks better. So while I'll stay take the Texans to win, I think it'll be a closer game than expected. I have Houston winning by just 1 point, 24-23. Next, you got the Titans versus the Jaguars, who are 7-point favorites. Remember, when good teams get embarrassed, they usually bounce back the following week. I think the Jaguars will avoid mistakes, and I think the defense steps up and makes enough plays as well to get the Jaguars a win to remain with a division lead. I have Jacksonville winning 24-17. Next, you got the Raiders versus the Dolphins, who are 13.5-point favorites. Can the Raiders ride their hot streak with a long road trip to Miami? Maybe not. West Coast teams playing on the East Coast early usually is not good unless you're like a great team like San Francisco, going on the East Coast. But then Miami is coming off a bye, and good offensive head coaches usually thrive off a bye. Also, the Raiders' defense can be exploited, especially since they have injuries in the secondary now. The Raiders would have to have a field day just running the ball with Josh Jacobs controlling the clock like they did last week and suggest to have a chance. I feel the Dolphins will just be too much for the Raiders, but with the way they play under a new interim coach Antonio Pierce, I feel like this will be more a competitive game, and I feel like while the Dolphins win, I don't think they're going to cover the spread. I have Miami winning 27-19. Next, you get the Cowboys versus who are 10.5-point favorites versus the Panthers. Some people think this could be a trap game for the Cowboys since they have a division rival for next week's Thanksgiving game. I do not see it that way. The Panthers' offense is bad, and they have a very bad offensive line, one of the worst in the league, so the Cowboys' defense will contain them easily. Now, could the offense have an off game since the Panthers have an underrated defense? Maybe, but I think the Cowboys win here easily. I have them winning 31-10. Next, you got the Browns versus the Lions, who are 7.5-point favorites. The good news for Bears fans is that it appears to be quarterback Justin Fields is finally going to be back on track to return and play. Now, the bad news is it won't matter against this team. Even if the Bears' offense can do something, the defense won't be able to stop the Lions' offense. The Lions win easily here, 34-17. Next, you got the Chargers versus the Packers. Chargers are 3-point favorites. This is an important game for the Chargers to remain in the playoff hunt. If you lose to a bad team, despite being on the road, then those fire Brandon Staley rumors will intensify. I think the Chargers will take care of business against a bad opponent, as they have done for the majority of the season, and will get much needed win. I have Chargers winning 27-10. Next, you got the Giants versus the Commanders, 9.5-point favorites. I know these two teams played each other close earlier on here, with the Giants actually getting the win, but the quarterback for the Giants this time around is different. Big difference between Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito. So I do think the Giants defense, like last time, will keep them in the game, but the Commanders get the big win to kind of remain in that wild card hunt. I have them winning 19-13. Next, you got the Buccaneers versus the 49ers, 11.5-point favorites. The 49ers showed last week that they are back, and I don't think that it was just a one-week fluke thing. I think they continue to assert their dominance while everyone's healthy. It's the key caveat there. And they win and cover the spread. I have them winning 30-10. Next, you got the Jets versus the Bills, who are 7-point favorites. Bills quarterback Josh Allen has had turnover problems this season, and the Jets are the one consistent team that can make Allen not recover from his turnover addiction, if you will. Now, the Jets had to have 4 turnovers and a punt return for touchdown last time in week 1 that they faced in order to win this game. I think with Bills' offense coordinator getting fired, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. I think for this game specifically, the Bills just need to be a run-heavy team, and since the Jets offense struggles, they can win the game by running the ball 35, 40 times and making Allen throw less, so that way there's fewer opportunities for a turnover, and the Bills can get a big win to keep themselves in the playoff hunt. I think it will be a close game, though. I have Buffalo winning 16-13. Next, you got the Seahawks, 1-point favorites versus the Rams. The Rams did beat the Seahawks back in week 1, so it could happen again. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford will be back from his injury, which helps, and now they have a better backup quarterback, Carson Wentz, should Stafford get re-injured. I think it will be a close game, but I think the Rams just kind of caught the Seahawks off guard in week 1 because that's what happens in week 1, but now the Seahawks will be better prepared for them. I have them winning in a close game, 21-20. Sunday Night Football, you get the Vikings versus the Broncos, who are 2.5-point favorites. Both teams are coming on a hot streak, especially the Vikings. It's super hard to go against Minnesota with the way they've been playing at this point in their winning streak. However, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. The Vikings have some key players that will be out this game, like the running back, Madison, due to injury. And I feel this Vikings high, if you will, has got to come down at some point, in my opinion. I think it'll be a close, competitive game, but Denver at home gets the big win to kind of get themselves back in the playoff hunt. I have them winning 24-23. Next, you get the Monday Night Football games with the Eagles and the Chiefs, who are 2.5-point favorites. This will hopefully be the best Monday Night Football game of the year, as the Super Bowl rematch from last year should once again be exciting and come down to the wire. Both teams are coming off a bye, which helps. For me, I know for the most part the Eagles have been lucky to have turnover issues and not have it cost them. While against a great Super Bowl contender like the Chiefs, I feel if you make mistakes there, that's going to cost you. So I feel like the Chiefs will figure out a way to get the big win to remain first in the AFC. I have the Chiefs winning by field goal 26-23. So thank you very much for listening to my podcast today. Please subscribe to my channel and tell about me. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.